Well, this is kind of fun. This is where I taught for the first year. This is the third year, 61st day, first video, fireplace still grows, and down here I am, and there is the fireplace I'm building, slowly, bit by bit. At Shirley's request, and it was a good idea, I moved some furniture away. Now it's going to be a little bit easier to see what the whole thing could look like. I still haven't used any mortar. I haven't cut any blocks. I've just been stacking stuff up there. I did take the fiberglass out of the flues. That's going to be a big question, whether or not I can get that to draw. Right now this is on the windy side of the barn, so I have that in there because when on a windy day the wind just blows down through those flues. But I can rig up a chimney, I think. Now, let's see. I put these here because otherwise I was going to have to cut the blocks. That's because of the width of the mantle here, or the lintel. And I've just stood up blocks I had around here. I just stood them up. Something I hadn't said before was, at one point I said I was concerned about the purchase. There wasn't very much purchase there. So what I did was I went to an 8-inch block, I corbelled in, and that gave me more of a purchase, made me more comfortable with that. Then I also went to a 12-inch block. I got 4 12-inch blocks. This is a 12-inch block. So I'm corbelled away in too far, except that it's going around a corner, so it won't tip in. And then the other 12-inch block is back here. This I have to fill in with what's right. I didn't know how that was going to be. Then I went back to 8-inch blocks, still corbelling in. And why I corbelled in was because I had to come to a point where I could make a straight line. I have decided to build a dome, a vault, a vault out of this material. I did break one of them apart. But anyway, out of this material. And when you build a vault, you know, it'll just barely clear the flues. But when you build a vault, it exerts outward thrust, and it wants to push the walls apart. So they need to be heavy. So what I think I'm going to do, what I've done so far, is I went to 6-inch blocks, and then on the back side I turned that 45-degree block back because I decided it would be better to have a gradual slope up to the flues instead of just a shelf and straight back. When I looked at it, I just thought it's going to draw better if I lay something on the slope back in there. And then I got, this was a 10-inch block, an old one I had around here. I'll get new. And this is an 8-inch block. And that gets me up high enough that I could tip in a 4-inch block and maybe go to a 3-inch block, and on the top, this is what a 3-inch block looks like. The 4-inch blocks look, well, there's solids. Those are 4-inch solids down here. Here's a 4-inch that's hollow. I'd probably go with the lighter one. Let me see. Now I'll put some kind of a thimble. This is called a thimble in the front here. I don't know about putting this many thimbles, but I'll put a thimble here just in case I someday want to put a furnace here. And I'll put a thimble. I could use these, I suppose, but I'll probably not. What I'll probably do is take. I've got more of this. Cut that in half or break it in half, because I want one thimble here for the cook stove. There's what's going to come out of the cook stove. A thimble to go in here, and then I'm going to want a thimble over here, because here I want to hook up this old-time hot water heater. I can lift it. Whoa, man, it's heavy. Anyway, those things are called bucket a day, and I'll set it up in here somewhere, and probably a sink right there as well. I like to have a lot of water near a fireplace. Okay, still, let's see. All right, I was not content. This looks thin. without these. I just thought, you know, with all that corbelling, it looks like it's not strong enough. It is, but it's just the way it looks. So, well, you know, I can put fire brick here. These aren't fire brick. These are just old brick I had, but fire brick would look like that. And I'm even toying with the idea of corbelling them. I don't know how you can see. I forget about filming, and then go into the thin fire brick up here. I don't want to depend on the mortar. Okay. Oh, okay. One other thing I was going to say about fireplace design: fireplaces that have raised hearths they're a bad idea. I mean, people like the idea of sitting with their feet up by the fire, and I know that, but they're not good for heating. The best fireplace would probably be a hole in it, lower than the floor. But you do need fire brick because the floor is too cold, and your fire is not going to keep going so well. But I went with thin because I didn't want it any higher than I had to. I think the thin will be good enough. Also, it was less expensive. I'm building this with stuff I have around, and I think soon I'm going to fool around with trying to burn a piece of newspaper in there and just see if I can get it to draw. At first, I'll drape some sheet metal over the top. Oh, still one other detail to show you. I had the presence of mind when I put all those thimbles in. I had the presence of mind to set bolts in the mortar, and then I even had these things laying here so I could attach threaded rod, all thread. I may do that temporarily. All right, that's a lot, but it's ugly. I know it's ugly, but that's mine. And all right, bye for now.